Hey everyone, welcome back to the North American Spring Challenger Series. Game 3 of the semifinals is coming up now between Curse Academy and Cloud9 Tempest. The winner faces LMQ in the finals and also earns a bye going into the playoffs.
Yeah, and Curse Academy made all the right moves in Game 2. Strong contributions from Pat in the jungle and Duosec in the mid lane allowed Curse Academy to shut down Cloud9 Tempest. And both teams sent their AD carry and support to the top lane, setting up a 1v1 in the bottom lane between Rux and Yazuki in our featured matchup.
Yeah.
And at the 10-minute mark, Rux took down Yazuki in a 1v1 and never looked back from there.
Yeah.
About a Trinity Force with all that extra gold he had. Didn't even know what to do with it on Aatrox. So
Kill people, actually.
Yeah, that's what he converted it into, just more kills for his team. And if Cloud9 Tempest, they want to win Game 3, they have to contain Curse Academy early, because the early game's gone over to them every time.
Absolutely.
And Cloud9 Tempest have tried to come back, but I like the adaptation that Curse Academy had.
Yeah.
So Altec will need to recover from a poor performance in Game 2, and overall the team had less success, stemming from the diminished jungle presence of Kez on that Evelyn. He's going to need a higher impact early game champion this time around, like the Pantheon or the Elise.
Yeah, exactly.
Get him something.
Get him something good.
Evelyn against Lee Sin.
And you got to credit Pat for that, though.
Yes.
You do have to credit Pat for that. I mean, he came in there. They traded buffs for Leon, but then he stabbed the Evelyn when Eve tried to pick up her own blue buff, like buff number 3. Born the flash, smite away the blue, then came back to the jungle. If he had landed that at last Q right there, at like level 3, would have maybe even gotten the kill onto Eve. I mean, red buff Lee Sin with the E is going to kill you.
Gets a level 2.
Yeah.
Evelyn, who didn't have his Dark Frenzy yet.
So I mean, everyone's going to learn QE on Eve at the beginning of the game. So that's a big possibility. Pat has been making such great plays, and it's something that I've kind of wanted to start learning about now and start to track is these junglers are all very good. Like, even think to, like, EG versus Cloud9. It's like, ThinkGuard is actually a good player.
Yeah.
Like, about as high rated in solo queue as someone like Pat is physically able to make the same kind of plays. And we saw, like, for example, in the matches for, like, the EG subs, those plays didn't happen. Now, I don't think it's intimidation. I think it's the fact that the teams set their junglers up for these plays. But when I start finding out, like, what enables that, right? What enables Lee Sin to invade on Eve and just crush her face?
A lot of it has to do with wave manipulation, too. Like, you had the 2v2 in the top lane, and like we said, Sivir, Annie early game power versus Vayne Thresh. If they all showed up for that fight at blue, who's going to win that?
True.
You have a lot of pressure from the hard CC from Annie, so if they did show up, and Ziggs also, he knew it was happening, so he's like, I'm going to clear the wave with my bouncing bomb, and then I'm going to rotate around just to put the threat there. Yeah. Because if you were in team communication, you're like, Ziggs is coming, I have to clear this wave, and if Bishu would have peeled off, he would have lost some CS, even if there wasn't a fight.
Yeah.
So it's kind of that catch-22 that you put him in, because you're making the moves.
Yeah.
And that's a big thing, is your team has to make the first move, you can't be reactive.
Not usually.
It's harder to be reactive.
At this point in the game, teams have gotten better and better and better, and the old the old CLG Europe way of just waiting with Anivia till late game doesn't work so much anymore. It's the teams that make the moves and take the advantages that are working right now in League of Legends. Pantheon, Rise, banned away by Curse Academy. Of course, yeah, with the first ban Aatrox, you've got to ban what it was counter-picking. Sivir is banned by Cloud9 Tempest. Now, last time around, they banned Lulu and Kassadin. They only get one here, or they got to let both go through.
One of them is going to get through. Curse Academy might ban something like Elise, so that Cloud9 Tempest don't end up with that as a pickup after they pick up the Lulu.
I feel like...
Oh!
Wow.
So, okay. So he doesn't want to play Lulu. He knows they're going to ban Kassadin, so they might first pick Elise here. Or Cloud9 Tempest could roll the dice and say it's a nerfed Kassadin, we will play against it.
They're taking their time. Now, last time they banned Kassadin in Game 1, they took plenty of time to make that ban go through. We'll see. We will see both top laners playing something new. Mid laners, we may see a repeat matchup here. Of course, the Orianna, not something they're afraid of. Curse Academy happy to let Bijou have it if he wants it. It is the Elise ban coming through. Okay, so Kassadin is up. See what's picked up here.
Here's the thing, though. If you first pick it, it's the nerfed Kassadin. There's a lot that can go into that, and Bishu's champion pool is perfect against Kassadin. Something like Orianna with the Clockwork Wind-Up passive even puts him down even worse in the early game. And the fact she has so much innate wave clear will also put Duosec on a champion that lacks it once again, which was their weakness in Game 1. So this could be a bait by Cloud9 Tempest to say, take the Kassadin.
Yeah.
Do it.
I mean, they were happy to ban it away the first 2 games. I'm sure they're not super happy with this, but they want to remove the Elise threat anyway. Annie is going to come through, so K1, you know what, you forced enough flashes, you landed enough initiations. Annie is going to come through for you. It's the rush pick right here. Kez might repeat his performance on Evelyn. Actually, hopes he doesn't repeat the performance, but
Yeah.
repeat the showing up as Evelyn. But of course, switching to Ziggs in the mid lane is going to deny more from Duosec. I like that choice.
Denies Duosec, gives it over to Bishu. He has all that wave clear at his disposal now. Lulu off the field, Ziggs off the field, Casten's still on. Duosec does play it. But against Ziggs, there really isn't anything amazing for him to play. And I also am astonished that the fact that Nidalee was still open, not picked up by Bishu, even though it was banned every game up until this point.
Just more important, honestly. There's more things to worry about here for these guys.
Want the wave clear.
Curse Academy now about to pick a very different lineup for themselves, saying, okay, we have Ziggs in here. Ziggs, such a good wave clear champion. Siege is going to be harder. Let's pick something completely different. Let's go early game status. Let's go Renekton top. Let's go Caitlyn for the bottom lane. She'll be able to bully out almost any lane she faces against. Now, can they get out ahead of C9T early on? Yeah.
And I'm not surprised at the Renekton pickup here. Rux is a combined 11, 1, and 13 on it, the 24 KDA we talked about previously. Built a Trinity Force on that champion too. Don't know if he'll do it again, but he's looking to dominate the early game. He's willing to blind pick that into whatever comes out in the top lane.
But with Rise Band, of course you can.
Yes. Rise Band.
That's part of it.
Aatrox Band is the, well, originally, so yeah, they're going to go for the Shyvana. Of course, Renekton Shyvana, talk about this every time, so we're going to skip it. Caitlyn, though. Sivir banned out. Caitlyn also says, you're not going to get to play Vayne.
Yeah, unless they can get a good lane swap situation.
Yeah.
Like Renekton and Shyvana, actually Shyvana will do better in the jungle than Renekton. So if C9T forces the lane swap, Gazzy gets a small lead over Rux, in addition to the fact that he won't be fighting in 1v1, which is a Renekton-favored matchup. So if they do go Vayne, C9T will look for the 2v1, and you'll have mind games there. Kassadin does go through. This is interesting now, because you still got the jungle lead sim, which worked so well last time, but now mid lane push lead goes to C9T. So mid lane support is there for Cloud9 Tempest. Bottom lane, we'll have to see what they pick.
Yeah, this is a little confusing to me. They left it open. They already picked up the mid laner for Cloud9 Tempest, so you know what you're playing it into. And Ziggs, like I said, he's got the wave clear. He doesn't have Clockwork Wind Up like Orianna, but he has a passive that enhances his auto attack damage, which is what the primary source of damage to Kassadin is early on, because he's melee and has to walk up to get creeps.
Yep.
So you're going to be denying him CS, or at least making him trade HP for it.
Yeah.
And Bishu, he'll probably still take the barrier, because Kassadin's not going to have kill potential in lane. Ziggs, really not so much. You're just going to get him low and force him back. And you'll kill him just with spells, or make him miss CS. Okay,
here we go. C9T. They're going to pick up in a strong laner here in Jinx to try to make that work back again. So Leona Jinx has a lot of kill pressure, so this will mean the Curse Academy has to give it respect. But it also means the amount of pushing here is pretty well mirrored. Even if you don't hit a champion, just throwing a Zenith Blade down the line and hitting it with rockets will give you some really good push speed. And so C9T, they're protecting Kez by having all the lanes able to push, though Yezki's likely to lose lane to Rux. But they can keep Kez safe in the jungle, as well as tune in for ganks when she does show up on Evelyn.
Once again, it's Lee Sin versus Evelyn. And this didn't go too well for Kez previously, but now that they have the Ziggs with the early game pressure, don't know if it's going to be the same, because Kassadin, if he shows up at level 3 to a fight, he's not as effective as something like a Ziggs. Yeah, and I want to see what happens with this, because, so TP Kassadin, I mean, and last time we saw Kassadin, actually, he got hit really hard in the Challenger Series. He lost his lane, the team lost the game, he never really got going. And I want to know where this teleports end up going. Will he use it to stay in lane and try to get farm, because he will be pushed around early on? Will he be able to show up and turn around fights? What's going to happen? I assume he'll start to make some looks bottom, because it's a Jinx and a Leona. They don't have escapes. If they engage, teleport to a ward behind them that you've placed in like the second bush. So that's going to force the Caitlyn and the Annie to kind of create a vacuum, say, come to us. Come to us. We're not going to push the wave. That's all you, Jinx. And Jinx might do that, because Caitlyn's superior range will force him into rockets. Yeah. Start pushing the wave without even wanting to. It's true. They could leave him completely open there. They got to watch out, though. There is the chance of an Evelyn counter gank, which is so hard to see coming, because you're pretty much never impossible. It's like invisible. Unless you get pink wards in their territory early on, which is so unlikely, you're not likely to see it happen. So here we go. Cloud9 Tempest looking to win games 1 and 3. Glebe Glarbu happy to pick up a GP10 here, grabbing the Relic Shield here to start out, whereas K1 opens Doran's Ring Annie. So really looking to fight. Early game damage, looking to fight. And you were just talking about keeping tabs onto Kez. Shout outs to Pat again. Last game, he knew where Kez was at every turn. Like that time when he took a step out of the bush, he's like, oh, I'm probably seen now. Even though he actually wasn't, he was seen by Kez.
Yes, he was.
Didn't even see Kez either. He was just intuitively knew. So if he can start harassing him in his jungle again and get tabs on him and say, oh, I saw him at his wolves, he's going to be bottom in 15 seconds.
Yeah.
And then head him off there.
Doing a good job of this one overall. So, Altec, starting out with the dance, being a happy person. I'm glad these guys are in such an intense match. Super important game. Heavily increases your chance to make it into the promotion tournament, which is a big deal. I think so does dance. It's good. It's got the rocket launcher out. Fishbones. Pow Pow is the minigun.
What's the zap called?
Zapper, I think.
The side gun?
Yeah.
It's called the zapper?
I think. I forget. I don't know if it's actually named.
Got to give it a name.
I mean, I think there's an official one, so I don't want to
okay.
I don't want to get in the way of that. It's like, quick, what's Annie's bear's name?
Oh God, it's Methuselah.
Nope.
Ah.
That would be Tibbers. Right? It's like you can't go back on that.
I said the first thing that popped in my head. I don't know why it was Methuselah.
That's a really weird thing to jump to at the beginning. I don't know how you do that. Pat with a blind Q.
Oh!
He lands it.
Okay.
Smites early, knows that he's not in danger. He's going to be fine with that one. Actually, I think it's like Kez could have been waiting around on the side, like walked in. Super unlikely, but was a possibility, I suppose. But he's going to be all right. Blue buff's going to be going and picked up there on both sides here. And look at this. Pat is looking for the invade. Now, he's going to go through the route that doesn't have any wards. No, just kidding.
Oh,
walked right by a ward.
There it is.
Could have walked through a route that didn't have any wards. He knows that he, yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's a 2v1, so he knows that if he invades the red, it's a 4v3 at best in his favor. So Pat's completely okay with this. Shyvana's going ahead, and he's going to clear out a camp for himself. Meanwhile, down bottom, Rux is going to test his might up against 3 very shortly. If Kez clearing out the red, he will be there.
Yasuke just went and killed the Wraith camp and then just pieced out. He doesn't even want to bother thinking about the turret. The Renekton, though, from Rux, will be able to wait around right now. He's trying to get an XP range. Of course, nothing's really dying much. The Evelyn's coming in soon. Now, Jinx, Leona, Evelyn does have some kill pressure.
You don't have a lot of hard CC. It's just Glebe Glarbu with the stun. No assistance from the jungler. He's just there to push the wave.
Curse Academy happy to zone that all the way away. They did, I believe, take one of the double golems there. Yasuke out of experience range right now. K1 and Mash all the way on that side.
Ooh. Rux was trying to be sneaky and get experience over the wall, but they warded it.
The smart trinket ward. To think about the types of things the top laners do. It's like, it's the metagame really, right? Like, you don't normally want to trinket ward that because no one's going to gank you from there for the most part. You see the jungler, but you've learned that top laners now sit there to try to gain experience because they know they can't contest for it. So then you put the ward down.
First time I saw that, I think it was Flame from, from Blaze.
I don't know who thought of it first, but it was a smart choice.
Yeah.
And now the second tier turrets.
Ooh, so now Curse Academy have the pressure on the bottom lane, but they're having Pat back to try and reinforce this, and they're going to collapse onto Bishu and
But again, a ward.
Push this mid lane a little bit, and then probably rotate bottom.
See what they can do with this one. So 3 men in the mid lane. This bottom turret, though, taking heavy damage right now. Rux is level 2. He's going to wave
doesn't
clear.
have a slice and dice.
He will be okay, though. It's level 3 right now. Can he land the stun on anyone important? Yes, he finds Cleave. That's
He takes
well
a turret shot.
There's a turret shot in there as well. The traps go down. Ignite is on.
Ooh.
Pat will die first blood, and Glebe survives. No ticks of Ignite are left. Can the rotation mean much? Everyone now on the bottom side. They're looking for more. Can they find it? Mash me. Level 3 already burned his net. He's got Flash. He's got Q. No summoners for Glebe. 150 health. Puts the Q down. It's going to get dodged. They go in. There's the jump in onto K1. Good damage onto Altec and Kez. The slow coming in from Kassadin. They find Kez. Altec going to go down as well. Double kill picked up. Massive for Curse Academy.
And the double buffs actually didn't go over to Mash. One of them faded off right before. So the kill on Kez. Nope. Not for him.
And I was just told the name really is Zapper for her W. So,
nice.
I know my lore, guys.
Well done.
I'm so smart.
The thing that does zap is called the Zapper.
I mean, it's a her kind of thing, though, right? Like, she names her things either with
Pow
onomatopoeia.
Pow.
Yeah.
Zapper.
I mean, Fishbones is just kind of whatever, but still a good name. Why do you think she named it Fishbones?
Because it's a shark.
Okay.
There we go.
Done. Mashmi and K1 getting some very heavy damage onto this turret, though. Of course, they killed the support, so why not get a bunch of damage on that turret? Mashmi got to be a little bit careful of this one. Puts the turret damage back down on towards Altec, half HP. K1 not going to get slowed. Here comes Kez, level 4 Evelyn. No follow-up really from Altec, though. Good damage from K1, the flash out from Altec.
Oh,
and here comes Pat to save the day, the barrier as well. And Mashpee picks up another kill. What a start for Curse Academy.
Out of nowhere, Superman Pat coming in with the save. It's called Safeguard for a reason.
Yep.
Looks like he hands him some hand towels, though, when he jumps up. He's like, here you go. And then they float around him for a second.
Cool boy Lee Sin, not the skin that was picked up, though.
Stop the bleeding.
Gonna be all right. 3-1 in kills, 800 gold lead, Curse Academy. Duosec to teleport back to the mid lane after his bottom lane roam. And by the way, equal in CS despite leaving his lane and being Kassadin.
TP'd. He TP'd back.
I know,
So
but still.
awesome. Good use of it. So he walked there, TP's back so he doesn't miss CS. Instead of TPing there,
He couldn't, there's no wards.
That's true.
That was a defensive 1v2 lane. He had to run with the rest of his team. The fact that Curse Academy pushed tier 1 turret, then ran all the way across the map to stab the opponents was incredibly smart.
They have really good early game shot calling.
Their first 5 minutes are ridiculously good.
Which is something that if they make it to the finals against LMQ, whose only weaknesses have been early game, if you get an advantage there, like Team 8 faced them, it was all because of that early game. It's quite possible that Curse Academy could be a great team to face them and actually give LMQ a run for their money in the finals.
Absolutely. These guys are just looking so freaking good strategically. I'm a fan of these guys right now.
And there's Piggity Pat off on the
flash
side.
stun in onto Glebe. No flash does land the jump in. Half HP, but the defensive stats from the W is so very high. Mash puts some damage back down onto Altec, but you can see what we can do here. BF sword picked up for Caitlyn versus Zerk Greaves and a long sword for Altec. Not what he wanted to have happen. Honestly, a great start for Mashpee here. Rux still holding down Yazuki, 6 versus 5.
Gonna go for a Tiamat first, clear the waves even faster, keep up with Shyvana, and then go ahead and roam elsewhere. Pat, he's caught.
Gonna get jumped on. Great root chain there. Pat not a good spot. He's gonna go down. Duosec not able to help. 2-3 and kills, 400 gold game. Cloud and Tempest fire back.
So when you push up,
Oh, he got it!
oh, he got the blue.
Wow.
So I was about to say, you know, you're saying when you push up, you're like, all right, this is our blue, this is our red. Lee Sin tried to do that, and oh, goes to Mashpee. This is our blue.
Yep. I mean, that's the thing is. So the funny thing is, like, I want to kind of talk about what happened there because I think it's actually really interesting. So because junglers are so afraid of stealing buffs, they stop hitting them, I think, too early nowadays. And like Bijou was in like Q auto attack minefield still didn't kill it, and it's like, Kez, you could have done more damage there. To be completely fair, he could have. He like legitimately could have done more damage there and allowed that one to drop sooner.
Bladed armor isn't as ridiculous anymore.
It can't fast hit. It's current health damage. You're fine.
Oh.
Now this is going to be smite available for Kez. Gonna get picked up by Pat though. Both guys going to clear the markers away rather quickly. Curse Academy though with both buff steals now, so everything on the map going their way. Bottom lane turret goes down, 2-1 in turrets, 4-0 in buffs basically, and up in kills as well. Great start for Curse Academy.
And I want to talk about the items here that the 80 carries both came back with. Mashpee came back with a BF sword boots. Altec, Zerker's Greaves, and a long sword.
Yep.
That's going to delay his damage for a good while. He has some chase potential, and he can close the distance when Glebe Glarbu starts an engage.
Yeah,
but when he gets there, he's not very effective.
No, exactly. There's like, you're not going to pick a fight when you're down an item like that. If you're watching the tab, unless you get a jungle gank going in, which also shows that anytime that C9T goes aggressive, there is an Evo. Because there's no way they pick a fight otherwise. It does give Curse Academy some information here. Duosec to go to help out with this one. All 5 members of Curse Academy are there. Gives Yazuki some time in the top lane to push around. It's going to be a fairly rich dragon, 131 per person. Making it 650? 650 gold dragon.
And Curse Academy have been on top of the dragons all match long.
Yeah.
Game 1, Game 2. And now in Game 3, still doing it. Still having the proper rotations and the early game. I can't stress this enough. They've won every early game. It's the late game because of composition that slips through their fingers. And now that Duosec, he's almost even with Bijou in CS. Regardless of it being a Kassadin into a Ziggs pick, this is not good for Cloud9 Tempest considering how well Kassadin scales even in 4.3.
Absolutely. I mean, the ratios didn't go down, just the base values, so.
Still scales up incredibly well.
Oh, yeah. So, Chalice done, did open Flask, not surprised by that one. Duosec's teleport is available again. 1,200 gold right now. Curse Academy, they're not under nearly as much pressure to win early as they were before. Because they have the Kassadin in the back pocket. You don't have to worry about a Vayne or a Ryze. They are still, in some ways, outscaled. Jinx versus Caitlyn's is advantageous late game. Shyvana versus Renekton advantageous late game. But they're less pressured for it, so a bit of a slower paced game is okay for CA.
Yeah. And now down bottom, Duosec. I like the wards here from Curse Academy. They had one in the Wraith Pit. They had one in that bush, so they're going to know where Kez is right now. Have tabs on him. Say, all right, now we can make a very educated move. Say, where do we want to go? Do we want to go mid? That seems to be where there's support and carrier going.
Well, Duosec has just enough ward coverage to not get ganked as he kind of split pushes this bottom lane. He knew that Eve and Leona were waiting, so he backed off. They're trying to 2v1 the Ziggs, and I don't know how well that's going to work. There's some kill pressure from Annie Kate, but I'm wondering, like, let's see how well Bishu wave clears this.
He's
So
got enough down range in his kit.
Yeah,
he's fine.
So they're kind of just treading water here in this matchup. Like, you're seeing how fast these minions die. Curse Academy aren't getting pressure with their duo lane.
Yeah, he didn't miss a single one.
They're allowing themselves to invade. They're also covering for the Renekton, who's still pushing and winning this matchup a little bit.
So I guess if every lane pushes up, then you force them to make a move somewhere, which allows you to make a move in a different place.
Yeah, and it allows you to own the jungle as well. Pat's been trying to do that all game.
He's trying to, I like it.
He is trying. They've got 3 minutes till the buffs comes back up, maybe a little bit less. Dragon's got a while as well. Like, they don't have anything to grab off this pressure, so all they can do is kill minions right now.
But it also means that he sees Leona there, so Duosec could actually try to go after Altec now.
He can't
burst
him.
He can't. He doesn't have any AP. He's still trying to scale up. No Rod of Ages completed. Up against a BF Sword and a Vamp Scepter with boots.
Not going to work for you.
Yeah.
Bloodthirster is done, though, for Mash.
Oh my god, he's taking so much damage. Duosec.
He, I think he took a zap into a couple of auto attacks. Wanted to get some CS. He's going to back out there. Has teleport. It's really not that painful for Cassidy to lose HP. He wants to be aware of teleport being available for a dragon fight if he wants to split top against, like, Yazuki. We'll see.
It's like if Super Mega Death Rocket came out, I'm not so sure. Could have been close.
Yeah. I want to see when Rux powers up again, because Yazuki just finished a Sunfire Cape, is holding equal in levels, and is now actually tying in minions. So, you know, I feel like the Rux sort of Renekton advantage is going away. And the blue buff, like, CA lost jungle control. The blue buff went to Bishu without it being contested. Pat's not going to stop anyone there. And, you know, Curse Academy are kind of now waiting around a little bit more than I would expect from a team that was dominating early and still holds a lead.
Like you were talking about with the Rux in the top lane, he needs to not just push the lane up, but start roaming the jungle with Pat. That's what they were doing previously. And Pat, he's making the moves for it, but Rux has actually sat at that tier 2 top turret for a very long time, and now they're split 1-3-1 in a 1-4 split push here against Cloud9 Tempest.
Well, they're going to be able to hold it, though, with the Caitlyn. The Annie actually zoning out anyone who wants to pressure the turret down. Rux just kind of chilling there against Yazuki, level 10 versus 9, but you're seeing the kind of space he's giving Shyvana. He's letting her wave clear and saying, yeah, you're right, I won't pressure you with burnout available.
You can't fight her, especially when she has her E on you. If she lands her E, you have to get away, because the burnout will close the distance and allow her multiple auto attacks with a huge increase on damage, the 2% of your max HP. So if she misses it, then you can kind of trade with her.
Yeah.
But when she's point blank, she's not going to miss it.
Yeah, exactly. So, not going to miss here. The only real global, I don't want to call it global, but it kind of is, the big objective that Curse Academy are getting is the fact that Cassidy is getting some steady farm. 102 minion kills is fine for 14 minutes for this champion. You can see, you compare him to anyone else on the map, and he's right up there with everyone else. So he is powering up the Bloodthirster. Pretty much fully stacked at this point for Mashme. The Rod of Age is getting stacked as well. So Curse Academy kind of hit a power spike right now. Maybe they can contest something like this. Like, I guess they're just waiting for dragons to spawn back up. You've got 50 seconds till it's back. And I feel like I have to see CA go for that, or they're squandering their lead.
Yeah. 700 gold difference between these teams now. Almost down to nothing. It's almost completely moot, despite the one turret in favor of CA.
It's a turret kill and a dragon.
Yeah.
That shouldn't be 700 gold.
Nope. It should not. But it is. Thank you, based Targons.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah, Targon's Brace is worth a fair bit of gold right here. I mean, it's 23-ish CS worth of extra gold earned by C9T, squeezing themselves back in a little bit. Sightstone done for Glebe. 14 seconds till Dragon. And look at that. There is the top lane cast and split push. So now how well does Curse Academy delay Dragon?
But now they have to react. They're playing reactive now.
True.
So if they get engaged on or somebody gets blown up, then they will lose.
It's going to be tight. Mashme pushing the mid lane right now. Ziggs off towards the side for Dragon. C9T are starting this now. What will the call be? Will it be top lane turret, mid lane turret? They're not going to contest Dragon.
Too much
they are
zone.
pushing mid.
Too much zone from Ziggs. And Mashpee, once again, this is a similar move. They gave up the Dragon, and then Mashpee tried to push mid, and then they got collapsed on.
Yep. They don't quite get mid lane. The Solar Flare not going to hit. Glebe almost in range, but not quite. Top lane still under fire, though. It is going to be a tier 2 turret for Dragon, which is an okay trade. Goes a lot of farm for 2 seconds. Now the mid lane under fire.
Oh, he's
5
TPing
for
behind
4.
them.
This is not necessarily ideal. Tibbers does not land on a much. The bomb comes in, and down goes K1. 2 for 0 so far. Fight still continuing on. Duosec off on the side. What can he find? A triple kill so far for Altec. Not what these guys wanted. There's Academy on the run heavily.
Ooh, auto attacked into that bush. Stopped himself and hit the pink ward for a bit. So it's a 3 for 0, and the Dragon goes over to Cloud9 Tempest. Curse Academy get the top turret. They blow their TP. Caston, he hasn't scaled up just yet. And you cannot fight Ziggs in that little choke point. That was the biggest part, is the bouncing bomb is going to hit somebody.
Yes.
It's going to explode. It's going to do some AoE damage. You throw down your Hex Explosive Minefield. It's going to hit multiple people.
Yeah.
And you have to adjust your play style and the way you enter on these fights to who you're facing.
Yep.
And that was not a display there by Curse Academy.
Look at these ults from C9T. Dragon Form, Evelyn ulti, Ziggs ulti, Jinx ulti. I mean, Leon ulti was down, doesn't matter. 4 area of effect ultimates into a little corridor. You saw Curse Academy get crushed there. They finally got the mid lane turret back, so they went +1 turret for minus a Dragon, but -3 kills is not what you want to have right here. 1,000 gold now in Cloud9 Tempest's favor, and all of the kills are on Altec right now. Remember last time Altec got going? Kind of won the game. Curse Academy has to be aware of this.
I'm almost certain they are. He was on a Vayne, he's on Jinx. Both are late game hyper carries. Can push very well, can deal in team fights. Now he has a bit more range and wiggle room later on. And he does have a decent amount of gold. All those kills, Targon's at this point doesn't give him the bonus, but just splits it, so
just
there's more
good
gold on the team overall. But, oh man, it's not looking good for Cloud9 Tempest at this point. Because Curse Academy had, like you said, the Renekton, the Caitlyn, a little more early game oriented. Now they have to deal with the Ziggs, the Jinx, and the Shyvana all scaling up.
Now there we go, Ziggs, and the poke coming out from Jinx as well. Going to be the contest for the blue buff right now, so Curse Academy finally starting to show up again for some invades. They're going to find that. It's going to be the slow onto K1. The engage comes in, and down she goes. Pat's not in a good spot either. Flashes over the wall, but here comes Yatsuki. Going to be another kill traded back up. Jumps over onto a ward, but the burst is enough. Down goes Lee Sin, 2 for 0. Blue buff goes back in.
All these deaths are on junglers and supports. And mostly junglers on the side of Cloud9 Tempest, too. Because they're just being so aggressive and trying to get up in each other's business.
Yeah.
And then the whole team reinforces, say, whoa, uh-oh, I'm out of position now.
Yeah.
And I also want to point out that Duosec talked about how this Caston is waiting to scale. He bought tier very recently.
Yeah.
He completed the Roa before he even got tier. So that's ramping up, but the tiers ramp up time. They're looking to at least get to the 35-minute mark before Duosec is going to be very impactful in these fights.
Well, let's see what these guys do with this one. Just the jungling for Duosec right now. Not efficient. You can see his health bar going low. But really wants to get himself some gold. Glebe and Rux in a bit of a fight. Rux knows there's backup on the way, though. Has to back up. 2,000 gold. Puts Cloud9 Tempest ahead, and they can play much more patiently. They've got a 5-1 and 2 Jinx. They can wait a little while. Play the late game fights right here. Curse Academy squandered a bit of an early lead. They tried to make their way back in, but they got punished for it the last 2 times they tried.
It's good zone control. And I love the Ziggs pick. Every time you fight him in the jungle, he's going to come out on top.
Great choice by these guys. Still a really fun champion to play as well. I like all his skins. He's an awesome bro. You know, I think almost all of them, aside from maybe one of his skins, have custom sounds on them.
The Ziggs?
Yeah. So I know that Mad Scientist Ziggs has special effects because he has like flasks. Snow Day as well as Pool Party definitely have different sounds. I think it's General Ziggs.
Yeah.
Might have the same sounds as the base skin, but I actually don't know about that one. Just random, did you know?
Yeah. I did not know. I didn't even think about it.
Yep.
But did you know Shyvana's pants are no longer going to be falling down?
She has belts.
Lots of belts.
2 belts.
She's like Jinx. I've got lots of belts.
No, she doesn't. She's got 0.
No, Jinx. No, Jinx.
I know.
What,
It's her VO. I got you.
I got you. Okay,
Yasuki
good.
has belts for a real reason. Wants more health.
Yeah, one of them will be a Randuin's Omen, the other one, Warmogs eventually?
It could be Warmogs. It could be
not caring about
a
magic
Frozen
resist.
Mallet, or it could just be a Giant's Belt.
Yeah, he
just
doesn't care about Magic Resist or Spectre's Cowl, because the only threat would be Duosec, and look at how weenie
He's
hits on.
not going to go for Yasuki.
at
It's a
that.
waste of damage he goes for it. I mean, health is still a pretty good option against mages, because mages tend to be bursty, and they don't want to waste that. Like, they lose their cooldowns when hitting tanks compared to like an AD carry or something. Using an auto attack is not exactly an opportunity cost, really.
Nope.
They can just redirect later on when someone does get in range.
Gotta say it again. Meanwhile, in Ruxland up top. Oh!
Good flash there. The Ziggs bomb comes out as well to zoning the team off of the turret, and the tier 2 turret does go down. C9T finding their third turret kill of the game. Top lane untouched, but who freaking cares? 4 turrets for Curse Academy. They're still pushing up top.
Rux is gonna try to get something for this. Dragon's up in 10 seconds now. And we see Duosec off on the side. Still is not completed. What it looks like his next item will be the Void Staff to try and be more relevant and do more damage in these team fights. They're setting up for Dragon, but Yasuki looks like he's back in Duosec!
Oh, what a Ziggs bomb. Duosec goes down right away. And Rux didn't have the vision control to know he could keep pushing top right now. He's actually leaving the lane, even though he could take and hip turret down right now. But he had no way of knowing.
He was afraid of the Shyvana back because it looked like she was backing and she wasn't in vision.
Yeah.
And they didn't have the control. So he was backing just in case, and then he canceled it, and now it seems to be completely for naught. And Duosec is down. Strange Rift walk in. They had vision of him, he didn't have vision of them.
Yeah, it wasn't worth it.
He said, I have to do it.
Didn't have to,
It
but
cost
unfortunately it did cost him his life. And I know Jat talked about this actually in the LCS today. He said, you know, it's actually okay for Renekton to have really low minion kills by mid to late game because it's gonna fall off kind of anyway. So donate those minions to another teammate elsewhere. Ooh, this is a pinch though. So
Wrong side.
C9T, well, C9T can't get back to their base. All of Curse Academy are here. These three are safe in this brush. They could look for an engage there if they want it. Are Curse Academy afraid? Or can they actually pick these guys up? They're going to look for it. Can they find it? Going to jump on in. K1's going to find a two-man stun right here and ulti onto Altec, but the big giant rocket fires back. It's going to be 2 for 1 so far. Another double kill goes to Altec. The fight now on to Rux. He's got nowhere to go. Duosec going to keep chasing down on the bottom side of the fight, though. They are going to find that mash when he goes down. Yasuki just pulling so much attention to himself. The slow comes in as well. Duosec is still trying. 3 for 1 in that fight, and Curse Academy picked the battle.
Started it up, completely got routed and picked off. I guess the good news here for Curse Academy is that Altec doesn't have 100% kill participation anymore. That's about it. We saw,
woe is you.
Yeah, Yasuki went ahead and actually soloed Pat on the side. Oh, not Pat on the side. Soloed
Mash.
Just off. The positioning against this AoE team composition, Curse Academy is not adapted to, and I think it might be too late.
It might be, honestly.
They would have to stall a long time.
Yeah, they have no way of killing the front line. Like, look how big Yasuki is. Solo the AD carry, the only guy who's even equipped to try to deal with his champion. And otherwise, Cassidy's still waiting. Renekton already on the downward slope right here. Pat well on the downward slope. 0-5 and 2 on Lee Sin. Went for an early Sightstone to try to continue to control the map. That did not pay off. You saw them just lose control over the buffs. Even though they started stealing buffs away, stop doing it. And Curse Academy, I don't know where their way back in is.
I don't know either. We talked about Yasuki versus Rux as our featured matchup, and Rux is a playmaker. We saw it there. He tried to go in, and K1 Pro came over the wall with the Annie Tibbers stun, tried to make a play on the back of that, and then Yasuki just counter-engages, and his consistency is just amazing. He will consistently go even in top lane, and we talked about it when he had his rise, too, in Game 1, that despite being down, he still caught up in farm, and they took that game. In Game 2, he was shut down, and it's just the game falling all around them. But now Cloud9 Tempest lost the early game, back in it again. The story of Game 1 all over it.
Let's see what they can find there. A bit of a slow coming out. Glebe taking a bit of damage, but the siege will continue. Jinx and Ziggs both great at killing turrets.
So Yasuki's actually taking hits from Mashme, but his HP is not reflecting that.
Nope.
Mashme has not completed the last Whisper, and there's a great amount of armor on Yasuki as well as HP. Sunfire
and almost a Randu. It's a pretty big deal for this guy. Minions are dying. Curse Academy are actually holding their wave clear quite nicely. And Cassidy is able to pick up garbage waves pretty easily and get back to his team. No wards over the wall really from Cloud9 Tempest. Normally when you defend a turret like this, you want to get a pink ward in your base just to keep killing away wards that they try to put down to spot you guys in your defense. But it's just sweepers right now. They're going to kill away a lot of these wards. Mashme is still shooting 124 damage crit. Not very high.
That's not a good sign at all.
It would take 30 crits to kill Shyvana. Like, that's the reality here for Mashme.
So basically, Shyvana could stand there and take about 30 seconds worth of damage
and wouldn't die.
And he wouldn't die.
Yep. Welcome to having a... Actually, the thing is, like, Mashme has kills, but he just... His farm is not quite high enough for 26 minutes in, and Curse Academy have kind of lost global control, so it's just a little bit too far downward compared to how far up Yasuki is. More CS, more kill participation, more globals, so see if he can catch up there. Obviously, Mashme is not too far away from Whisper being done. He's only under 1,000 gold. Did pick up a blue trinket as well. I think of all champions to pick up blue trinket, it should be 80 carries. They're the most well-suited to that type of trinket.
Especially Caitlyn.
Yeah.
Scrying orb, ace in the hole.
Yep. Seen it happen. Good.
Shot.
41 CS now for the face of the mountain, Glebe Glarbu. 42, 009. Perfect score for support.
Yeah, and that's something too, is even though the CS between Altec and Mashme look equal, really has a lot more because Glebe Glarbu's face of the mountain.
Well, it does count in 4.3 now. We had the trigger go in.
So that actually CS.
Yeah, it gives you a spectator CS. Or like, the scoreboard will go +1 if the face mountain charge goes to you. Ooh. So you can actually, the scoreboard is faithful now.
That was a spectator change accurate. I did not read.
Yep, 4.3.
Actually in there.
The first week of Challenger where it was here.
So did we know? Did I know? No,
Did you know? Nope, but you do now.
I do now.
So now it's do you know?
Today I learned.
TIL.
Today I also learned that Kassadin takes a long time to ramp up. I already knew that. But he actually goes straight for the Seraph's Embrace, or the Archangel Staff. Trying to upgrade it still. Like I said, it's going to be around that 32-minute mark.
Yeah.
That he'll convert it over, and then he needs a Void Staff on the back of it, too, to be relevant in these team fights.
You know, kind of thinking about the build, I actually like Rod of Ages first because all you get from upgrading like your tier is obviously you get more mana over time. The shield is okay, but it's not mandatory. Whereas getting your Rod of Ages actually up there is more important. The amount of mana you get from a done Rod of Ages is worth a lot of AP in itself. So I feel like that actually might be the most efficient build. But I have to kind of think about it some more. But
not Catalyst into tier and then complete Roa?
I think actually rushing Roa is fine. Because remember that it takes you 10 minutes to get an extra 20 ability power.
But I feel like if you get Catalyst into tier and then you build Roa after that, they'll both be fully charged around the same time.
Yeah. I'm just not sure like what fully charged is necessarily worth.
I think tier takes a little longer to charge up.
It does.
Than Roa. But speaking of that, Duosec, he's got them all collapsing around him. He's a done cast.
Slows Yasuki, not able to dash away from this one. A whole bunch of bursts coming through. Yasuki getting it with Dragon Form. Down goes poor Caston for 40 seconds. This puts Baron on the table for Cloud9 Tempest. Curse Academy, can they stall them away from this one until their mid laner comes back up?
So his build didn't matter at that point?
No.
Completely irrelevant to that rotation. And now they're getting rotated on again. Rux might be in trouble if they continue this, and they're actually just going to push them out of the area.
Push them out of mid, but they are running now towards Baron for reals this time. 15 seconds on Kassadin. Teleport is available. Curse Academy will be pushing the mid lane. I will trade a tier 2 turret for Baron any time of day, though. And no, they're actually going to go back. There's the Scrying Orb use. Will they be able to stop any of this? They're going to jump in from the side. Q comes across Pat. We look for the steal. 1/4 health left. The teleport coming in now from Kassadin. This could be the big jump in for Curse Academy. Red team picks up Baron Nashor. Pat does not get it. It's going to be the 1-for-1 trade in kills so far. Altec is legendary, but good damage in from Brox. Here comes Duosec as well. Kills coming in for Curse Academy. They are destroying Cloud9 Tempest right now. Yasuki
no magic
gonna
resist.
go down as well. It's going to be a kill trade though. 3 versus 1 left on the map. Big fight, Curse Academy.
So Pat used his smite a little early. If he had used it later and it had been a Baron into the hands of Curse Academy and that fight, the 4-for-2, it would have been perfect for them. Now it's still about as good as they could have hoped for. Now they get this turret. They could get one more, but they don't have their 80 carry and attack speed with them. So it's risky.
It's risky, and they're not going to go for it here, but they will get the rest of the jungle under their control. Blue buff is back up. Now, keep in mind, Baron buff is worth 300 gold per person when you kill it. A tier 2 turret's worth 125 per person. That bridges the gap a little bit, plus the fact that 2 extra kills came through for the team. Curse Academy, honestly, went pretty equal in that fight because only Glebe is wearing the Baron buff itself.
And now Yazuki, he notices, I need some magic resist. Picks up a Spectre's Cowl for himself.
Yep.
Gets the Thorn Mail completed. And he's just a monster. It took so long to take him out, but the squishy remainder of Cloud9 Tempest's team, aside from Yazuki, was very easily picked off just in that full-on engagement there. And Duosec, he got his teeth in there too.
Yes, he did. And he's going to have a Void Staff done soon, right? You talked about Spectre's Cowl coming in. Well, Void Staff's about to be completed now for Duosec when he gets back to base. He still actually hasn't gone back since that fight, I believe. And Cloud9 Tempest are actually pushing down the mid lane before Curse Academy is really reacting to this one. Can they defend the turret?
Yazuki's so tanky, and he's the highest level in the game, sitting at 17.
Really good damage coming through. Great jump in. Wow. Rocket comes in, dodged. Those satchels so good from Bishu, though.
Little perspective, too. Yazuki's level 17, Bishu's 14. He's
Yeah.
doing so well for himself. Highest CS in the game, highest level in the game, 2 over Rux. And his consistency, his farm, is just great. And the fact he has so much tankiness, he now has HP, tons of armor, and he's now stacking on the magic resistance.
Yep. And he stops at Cowl, actually. Picks
Deadly.
up a giant spell on top of that one.
So Duosec actually, instead of completing the Void Staff, goes for a needlessly large rod.
Okay. So that could be Deathcap or DFG, very unlikely, or Zonia's. I'm actually very surprised to not see Void Staff, though. I think that's actually very important at this stage. All of your key targets have some MR, and you will get more out of Void than Deathcap at this stage.
We're going to have to see. He's still split pushing. His TP is not available, and they have to know this. He used it last time. So it's a 4v5 in this mid lane. But now Duosec's backing.
Okay, he's going to recall. He has to buy Stork Shoes to get home ground, which means he won't have them here, and the turret's going to go down. Altec has got the turret credit for that one. Rux in the front line taking a bunch of pain, has to jump back out, and here comes the fight. Kicking Yazuki away is big, but Annie goes down. Will they fight 4v5? Duosec not going to land the slow. Will he chase? He's got to be afraid. The fact that Satchel could knock him back in. Jumps forward. Duosec still on the chase. They don't see Kez. Pat, nope, just going to kill away minions. That's it.
So there's a reason that ability is called Dragon's Rage. Yeah, because you jump in and kicks him right in the face.
I'd rage.
Picked him up on that one. He was almost in there, too. So close. Really well done there by Pat to actually pick the right target. Closest the distance.
Okay.
The engage was good. The engage was good. K1 actually followed it up with a great Tibbers into the back line, but ends up dying. They lose a turret, very minimal damage.
Yeah, I mean, remember, they were still without Caston in that fight.
Yes.
He was late to the party. I think mistakenly so. They should have seen that push coming, and he should have been there. It's going to be Deathcap picked up. He sells.
Where did Amplifying Tome go?
He sold it to get enough money for Deathcap. Okay. Thing is, he bought the Amp Tome a long time ago. As soon as he was finishing Archangels, he just bought an Amp Tome to have the stats, and then just went towards Deathcap. And then when he needed the money, he just sold it.
But the next item he builds is going to have an Amplifying Tome in it.
Yeah.
Regardless of if it's Zonia's or Void Staff.
But he got Deathcap for that fight. Like, that's a worth it situation, right?
Okay.
You basically lose 100 gold by selling it for now, but getting Deathcap for that fight, worth more than 100 gold. The chance to turn a fight because you have Deathcap, I mean, I would defend that 100% of the time.
He didn't make it to the fight,
coming.
though.
But if there was one,
That's
right?
true.
Like, you can't say, oh, well, they're going to run away. Like,
Well, the fact that he didn't make it to it makes it not
all
gold
right,
effective. I
then
win.
you're right. It wasn't worth it in that
Boom.
case, but I would still make that same decision again.
10 out of 10 would do again.
Yep.
Even if bad decision.
Shh. Good decision didn't pay off. Stop it. How dare you? The right call could be the bad play sometimes.
That's true. That's true.
It's like, I can dive top without wards, which is the wrong call, but if there wasn't the jungler, oh, guess it was the right play.
So Duosec sweeps himself right there. Make sure there's nothing on him. He's going for Altec. He's going for the back line. And I think they might bait Yazuki into them so that they have nobody defending Bishu and Altec. They're actually warding their backside now.
Well, they know that Cassim's going to look to flank on this one. I mean, why wouldn't you? Yazuki could take some damage to the front line, eats a couple of traps, has a Thorn Mail, though. It's a pretty durable guy. Rux
it's
goes
Altec.
in. They look for Altec. They're going to find some good early damage, but Rux just explodes right there. Duosec has nowhere to go. Shield is going to keep Altec in a pretty good spot now as well. Big burst comes in. Duosec trying to get away from Bishu. The flash, the Q lands. Bishu takes him out. He timed the Seraph's shield to land the damage in time. 2 kills picked up. Mashme forced to heal away. Don't know if he needed to pop the trinket, but he did.
So Rux isn't that tanky in all reality, especially compared to somebody like Yazuki. They take him out in the back line, and that gives the reset to Altec, gives him the get excited, and he runs away, and now they still have him up, and they're able to take these turrets.
Big stun from K1, damage on a Gleam, damage onto Yazuki, but down goes the support. 2 versus 5. C9T looking to close out the semifinals right now, 18-8 in kills. Turret number 2 goes down. On to the Nexus they go. It's gonna be the game. The semifinals go to Cloud9 Tempest. Welcome to the finals.
And they're going to be going off against LMQ up in the finals. And Cloud9 Tempest are actually the first team to take a game off of LMQ in any type of competitive environment.
Yeah.
So it happened in the NACL. First team to put that little crack in the armor. And Altec, I want to shout him out again.
Yeah.
11-2-4 that game off of the 7-0-14 of his first game.
Yeah.
He's just having amazing performances. And when Altec does well, the whole team does well. Because then they have somebody to peel for.
Yeah.
And Yasuki's consistency really showed up there against Rux. And it's funny,
Yeah.
because when Rux goes with untraditional builds, he wins.
Yeah.
Trinity Force is like 100% win rate for him.
I mean, to be
Otherwise,
fair, he
no.
buys it when he's ahead.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, I'm not
But it's still like
misleading.
first item for him, though.
Yeah, it's like, well, I'm 2-0 winning. I'm going to go for Bursty to close it out. Like he builds to close it out if they're ahead. Of course, it wasn't in this case. I think going from Tiamat to Hydra, bit of a mistake, because you pointed out in teamfights, was not tanky enough. He had damage on his lineup. You got a Caitlyn who's farming pretty well. You've got a Kassadin. Didn't have the tankiness to make it happen. That was kind of rough.
Yeah, he was just getting taken out there. He had a Thorn Mail, but if you looked at his HP bar, it was substantially lower than Yazuki, who had been just stacking it on all game long. And that's the Shyvana scaling we always talk about. So congratulations to them. But also, that means first round bye for Cloud9 Tempest.
For sure.
And Curse Academy, they're still going to be in the playoffs, though.
Yes, they will.
So.
And they'll be in a third place match as well. You got to keep that in mind. There'll be one to watch. Now, guys, the bracket is set. Cloud9 Tempest will face off with LMQ for a best-of-3 match for the Series 2 title. And the second place, the second North American Spring Challenger Series Finals will hit the Rift on Sunday, March 30th.
And we will also see the return of VVV when they play Curse Academy for third place. And immediately following the third place match, we will have a one-game playoff between the fourth place team and Complexity Red because they are tied in points. And all that action will kick off on March 29th.
But up first, on Tuesday, March 27th, the LCS makes its triumphant return as the European LCS kicks off Week 10 of the Spring Split, starting with Millennium and their new jungler taking on Amazing and the Copenhagen Wolves.
And then, after the pros finish their night on the Rift, the European Challenger Series third-place match between Never Give Up and Reason Gaming kicks off. Plus, the team that finishes fourth will immediately face off against Meet Your Makers in a one-game tiebreaker. We're having them all over the place, NAEU. So we'll have a ton of league action coming your way next Thursday.
Yes, sorry, I said Tuesday, meant to say Thursday. They both start with T. Thursday, it continues again in Europe. With that, our time together has come to a close. But before I go, I want to say thanks again to our friends at Coca-Cola. Now, for myself, Zyrene, and our entire amazing live broadcast crew, thanks for watching. You all are wonderful. Good night, and GG.